In the United States, a worker is injured every 7 seconds, and musculoskeletal disorders are the leading cause. Globally, these injuries affect nearly 1 in 4 people and cost employers billions annually. That's why the National Safety Council launched the MSD Pledge, a commitment to reduce these preventable injuries and protect what matters most: people. Cargill, a global company and pledge member, is putting that commitment into action.
When I started with Cargill, one of the reasons they created the corporate ergonomous positions back then was because our injury rates were very high. And musculoskeletal disorders were a significant part of those injuries, well over 50%. So we had a very clear focus. And what we've been doing over the last 14 years is just continuing to get better at implementing ergonomics and developing processes, using technology, using things to basically make sure that we continue to drive down those injuries. We're moving in a very positive direction. MSDs are quite often anywhere from 40 to 60% of the injuries that happen. And we may not think of those as significant injuries at times, but they are to the person. It's relevant to them that day and every day they have pain. So that's why ergonomics is such a critical focus, because it means that we're taking care of those people, everything that affects them on a daily basis.
Over the years, the EHS team and the Joint Health and Safety Committee has implemented programs such as the Preventative Response Program and the Active Release Therapy, which has reduced the ergonomic injuries by a significant amount.
Early reporting is key. It's key because we have a lot of mechanisms where we can help a person prevent that from getting worse, or prevent it from becoming a permanent issue for the individual. Safety is not something that has an end to it. It's something that you continually learn, you continually work through.
Pledge members like Cargill understand that preventing MSDs requires both workplace changes and scientific innovation. That's why they've partnered with researchers tackling MSD risks in new ways.
The next chapter for safety MSD prevention is going to be, in my mind, is going to be around data analytics. And it's about using more information that we can gather to understand hazards, but using those to get more predictive on how we can change jobs before anything happens. When we can find partners to work with, like the University of Waterloo, and be able to do research that is directly impactful to our plants and how we look at risks in our environment, that only makes us better. So it's all about growth. The way I look at it is we have a process that runs, and part of my job is to focus on innovation to say, how do we get better for the future?
We were really excited to have the opportunity to partner with Dave at Cargill. I think one of the best parts of my job is coming to work today, coming to work every day to work with amazing students. And what's great about organizations like MSD Labs and the research granting program is that it enables me to fund students, to fund research associates to come into the lab where they get to learn more about the intricacies of MSD prevention. So I think it's a really valuable opportunity to have both the funding support and the relationships with folks like Dave to enhance student training so that these folks can go out and lead MSD prevention for generations forward.
Whether at a global company or a family-run seed producer like Wyffels Hybrids, the goal is the same: protect workers by rethinking how we prevent MSDs every day, in every setting.
Wyffels has unique challenges. As a seed corn producer, a lot of the rework that goes on at our facilities has to be done manually, taking very good care of those seeds so they're not damaged in the process. So there is a lot of handling, manually lifting bags and stacking and unstacking of pallets. So we had to come up with some really creative ways to be able to still treat the product with all the respect and care that it needed to make sure that it was a successful crop, but also keeping our employees safe and preventing workplace injuries. Ergonomic injuries were our #1 cause of workplace injuries at Wyffels year over year, so we knew that that was something that needed to be addressed.
So the culture has just blossomed as far as how we look at safety and how much we address each issue. We went from a time when we had 15 employees where you would kind of make sure you took care of yourself and others you worked around, to now having a culture where we have a safety manager who is making sure that we have met all the training criteria that we need to in order to have a safe workplace.
What began with 16 founding pledge members is now a community of nearly 250 leading organizations, representing nearly 3 million workers worldwide. Together, these companies are transforming workplace safety through research, collaboration, and a deep commitment to their people.
What really excites me, I think, is this revolution around computer science, around engineering, around nanotechnology. Work shouldn't hurt, and I think now is a really exciting time for technology and tools to help make sure work doesn't hurt.
Join this growing movement today. Take the MSD Pledge and access proven solutions and other exclusive benefits to protect your workforce at msc.org/MSD.